The study of human skeletons has long been a fascinating field for anthropologists and archaeologists alike. Over the years, numerous skeletons have been unearthed around the world, providing valuable insights into the history of our species. However, some skeletons stand out due to their bizarre characteristics and unusual features, which have left researchers scratching their heads. From elongated skulls to skeletal abnormalities, these skeletons have puzzled scientists and sparked intense debate about their origins and significance. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at the 15 weirdest skeletons ever found. Yeah, you heard it right. The Star Child Skull. Discovered in the 1930s, the Star Child Skull is an enigmatic artifact that has puzzled researchers for decades. The skull is characterized by several anomalous features, such as an abnormally large cranium and deeply set eye sockets. Some researchers have suggested that the Star Child Skull may be the remains of an alien-human hybrid, but no conclusive evidence has been found to support this claim. The Atacama Skeleton. Found in the Atacama Desert of Chile in 2003, the Atacama skeleton is a tiny, 6-inch long humanoid skeleton with a disproportionately large skull. Researchers have determined that the skeleton is not a fetus or an infant, but rather a full-term fetus with a number of genetic mutations. Despite its small size and unusual morphology, the Atacama skeleton is not an extraterrestrial, but rather a human with an unfortunate genetic condition. The Fiji Mermaid. A famous hoax created in the 1800s, the Fiji mermaid was a supposed creature made from the upper body of a monkey and the tail of a fish. Despite its obviously artificial construction, the Fiji mermaid gained a significant following and was displayed in various exhibitions throughout the United States. The Lizard Man. Discovered in 2015 in Utah, the Lizard Man is a strange, skeletal artifact with an elongated tail and clawed feet. While some researchers have suggested that the lizard man may be a new species of lizard, most scientists believe that it's a hoax or a misidentified animal skeleton. The Tasmanian Tiger. Though technically not a skeleton, the preserved remains of the Tasmanian tiger are a strange and fascinating sight. This marsupial was declared extinct in 1936, but a number of preserved specimens have been found in the years since. The Tasmanian tiger was characterized by its distinctive striped coat and powerful jaws and was once a common sight throughout Australia and Tasmania. The gigantic sloth, a prehistoric creature that stood over 20 feet tall. The gigantic sloth roamed the earth during the Ice Age. Despite its massive size, the gigantic sloth was a herbivore, feeding on leaves and branches of trees. Unfortunately, the gigantic sloth became extinct around 10,000 years ago, likely due to climate change and human hunting. The Sirenians. These ancient sea creatures look like a cross between a walrus and a manatee, with long tusks and a flattened tail. Sirenians were once common throughout the world's oceans, but today only a handful of species remain, including the dugong and the manatee. The long-necked plesiosaur. A marine reptile that lived during the Jurassic period, the plesiosaur had an incredibly long neck and 4 flippers. Despite its massive size and unusual morphology, the plesiosaur was an adept swimmer and hunter, feeding on fish and other marine creatures. The elephant bird. This giant bird stood over 10 feet tall and weighed over 1,000 pounds, making it the largest bird ever known to exist. The elephant bird was once common throughout Madagascar, but was hunted to extinction by humans in the 17th and 18th centuries. The Megatherium. A massive ground sloth that lived during the Pleistocene epoch. The Megatherium had long, curved claws and stood over 20 feet tall. Despite its large size, the Megatherium was a herbivore feeding on leaves and vegetation. The Megatherium went extinct around 11,000 years ago, likely due to a combination of climate change and human hunting. The Arsenotherium. The Arsenotherium is an extinct mammal that lived during the Oligocene epoch, about 34 to 23 million years ago. It belonged to the family Rhinocerotidae and was a distant relative of the modern-day rhinoceros. The Arsenotherium was a large mammal that could weigh up to 4 tons and stood about 2 meters tall at the shoulder. Its most distinguishing feature was the massive horn on its nose, which was used for defense and possibly for attracting mates. The horn was made of bone and could grow up to 1 meter in length. The Dunkleosteus. The Dunkleosteus was a large predatory fish that lived during the late Devonian period, about 380 to 360 million years ago. It belonged to the family Placodermi, a group of armored fish that were the first vertebrates to develop jaws. The Dunkleosteus was one of the largest placoderms growing up to 10 meters in length and weighing up to 4 tons. Its most distinctive feature was its powerful jaws, which could generate a bite force of up to 8,000 newtons, making it one of the strongest biters of all time. The Dimetrodon. The Dimetrodon was a prehistoric reptile that lived during the Permian period, about 295 to 272 million years ago. It belonged to the families Phenacodontidae, a group of reptiles that were distantly related to modern-day mammals. The Dimetrodon was often mistaken for a dinosaur due to its large size and fearsome appearance, but it was actually more closely related to modern-day mammals than to dinosaurs. The Ichthyosaur. The Ichthyosaur was a marine reptile that lived during the Mesozoic era, about 252 to 90 million years ago. It belonged to the group Ichthyosauria, a group of reptiles that were adapted for life in the water. The Ichthyosaur had a body shape similar to that of a dolphin and could grow up to 16 feet in length. Its most distinguishing feature was its long snout, which was filled with sharp teeth that were adapted for catching fish and other prey. The Homo floresiensis. The Homo floresiensis, also known as the Hobbit, is an extinct species of hominin that lived on the Indonesian island of Flores between about 100,000 and 50,000 years ago. The Homo floresiensis stood only 3 feet tall and had a brain the size of a grapefruit, making it one of the smallest hominins that ever lived. Despite its small size, the Homo floresiensis was able to survive on the island for thousands of years, hunting and gathering for its food. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.